Hey guys, welcome back. This is Longtail Build Series video number 9. So Bespoked happened and I haven't even caught up on nabs yet. I did see a few highlights of the show and man, beautiful stuff. It was cool to see that several of the builders I follow on Instagram won awards. Congrats guys! I'll have a link in the description to the Bespoked website if you haven't already checked out the coverage. In the last video, we mitered the chainstays, notched them, and then welded the fork ends on. In this video, we're going to weld the chainstays onto the main triangle. We're starting off by cleaning up the chainstays. They were sitting for a while and moisture had formed a few rust spots on there. After I got those cleaned up, I loaded them back onto the jig. The first tacks went on the tops and bottoms of the tube. I didn't use filler wire because the joints were nice and tight, and if you have a really tight joint, it's, in my opinion, better not to use filler because the filler will kind of suck up. It'll shrink and it could possibly move your tube. So there's less chance of it moving if you don't use filler. But sometimes filler is necessary if you've got like a bit of a gap there. Otherwise you'll just burn, you'll just keyhole the edge. Okay, now I'll tack the sides of the tubes, and this time I'm using filler because the joints are not that tight. Alright guys, now I'm on to welding the chainstays, and you see I got my little test plate on there. I don't do that anymore because the last time I did it, a spark went from the plate to the tube and it created a little mark, so don't do that. It'll mark up your tube. I will say, however, that it is still a good idea to check your settings on a test plate just to make sure everything is correct before you actually start welding. Alright, so I am pulsing at around 0.8 pulses per second, and I'm running a number 12 cup. My CFH is around 20, and I'm using 045 filler wire. And for the technique, I am using lay wire technique, and I'm pretty much using that on both chainstays the whole way around the tube. You'll also notice that I've been using this fabric glove, which is it's an oven mitt, and it's actually called Oven Glove by Hot Stuff Chef. And it's pretty bulky, but it's like this double-lined oven glove, and it's made of the listing says it's made of fabric, Kevlar, and Normex. I don't know what Normex. Oh, Nomex. I don't know what Nomex is. And I got that off Amazon if you're interested. But I really like this thing, and the reason is because it's kind of like, I think, the same material as Jody's, welding tips and tricks. He has the TIG finger, And I never got one of those. I always wanted to get one. But instead I got this thing, and I'm not saying don't get the TIG finger. Go ahead and get it if you want it, and I think it'll work really great in most cases. This glove, I will say, is a bit overkill, but I like it because, like, no matter where my hand is, I can rest it in and around the tubes, like directly on the tube. And because it's this fabric material, I can still slide my hand around really smoothly, and I just find it really easy to use. Alright, so this is the first weld, and it wasn't the greatest, but as you can see, as I progressed through, the weld just got better and better, and of course the ones on the bottoms are like the best because you've got the most visibility in that area. Okay, let's get this wheel on, and really no big surprises here. It's like, there's no problem here with clearance or anything like that. The only problem I ran into was the little arm thing I had. I didn't want to hold the frame, and so then I got out my vise and used that, and even that was like giving me trouble. So I have since purchased a mechanic stand, but it didn't come in time for this video. Alright guys, that's a wrap. Let's see, what do I have to say? I don't have my notes in front of me. Oh yeah, before I go, I want to thank douchebag numero uno. That's a great name, by the way. He corrected me on the proper term for what I was previously calling dropouts. They're actually known as fork ends. I always assumed fork ends was on the front forks, you know, like because fork ends. But nope, fork ends refers to the style of this particular straight style of fork end securing the axle. You learn something new every day. Thank you, douchebag numero uno. Alright, in the next video, we're on to the seat stays. I changed up the design of those due to some technical difficulties. I'll show you guys what I ended up with in the next video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.